Hi everyone, today I'd like to show you the best strategy for the Barely Balanced game mode. Barely Balanced is a game mode where at the beginning of the game, your starting deck is replaced with 16 Elder Bears ranging in power from 1 through 16. All leader abilities are disabled, all stratagems are disabled. So the only difference is like if you're going first, you start with a 3 power Elder Bear right on your side of the board in round 1. This is a great game mode if you want to complete contracts related to leader abilities. So I'm actually a math and programming teacher in real life. So my numeracy skills, my logic skills are actually pretty high up there. So I've done a lot of testing, and I'm about to show you the best strategy for this game mode. Now, it differs depending on whether you're going first or second. Right? So when we find an opponent, I can show you what the strategy looks like. There we go. Okay, so our opponent goes first, which means he starts with a 3 Elder Bear advantage. Notice how he has this 3 power Elder Bear. Okay, so if you're going second, what you want to do is actually save your low provision bears. Like, don't play bears 1, 2, and 4. Okay, don't play them. Keep them in your hand. You want to play your mid power bears. Okay, so we have some pretty good mid power bears. I am actually quite satisfied with this hand, so I'm going to finish redrawing. Okay. So typically what you want in a starting hand when you're going first is some mid-power bears, like 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? So we have all of those. Our opponent is going with the less good strategy of playing all his mid-provision bears first. So, or excuse me, all his low-provision bears first. Did I say low provisions? I mean low power bears. Okay, yeah, he's just going like 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. Which a lot of people think is the best strategy, but my strategy is actually better, right? So he's just lining them up. And I think if we play bear number 7, he may pass, right? Because our margin of victory is 21, which is already pretty high. Or margin of victory is 11, excuse me, which is already pretty high. So let's go ahead and play 4 power bear. Okay, plays a 3 power bear. Our margin of victory, let's give it a 9, right? So typically you want to win with the smallest margin of victory possible. Ours is already 16, which is pretty big. It may tempt him to pass. Okay, so let's play a 1 power bear. Okay, so he passed. So we are also going to pass. Notice how we won by a margin of victory of 11, right? So that means if we can make our opponent win by a margin of victory of 15 or higher, then we will win the game. So good. We have our 2 and our 3 power bears. Let's go ahead and mulligan away our 14 power bear and our 15 power bear. Good, we have 2, 3, and 5. Excellent. So let's play our low provision bears. As soon as the margin of victory hits 15 or more, we are going to pass, and then we are going to win. Right? Okay, so that's a margin of victory of 5. We're looking for a margin of victory of 15. And because our opponent used the less good strategy of playing all his low provision bears in round 1, he doesn't have any low provision bears left in his deck, right? So now he's forced to play his high provision bears, right? Notice how the margin of victory is already 13. And then we play our 5 power bear. And then this should push him above that threshold, right? He plays 12, the margin of victory is 20, we pass and we win. So yeah, round 3 takes care of itself. GWENT has added very nice quality of life feature where you don't have to play out the cards. It just dumps your hand onto the board. It dumps your opponent's hand out onto the board, and then it compares the point values. Okay, so There's his board, here's our board, and we win. A lot of people are playing like their low power bears all in round 1, which is a terrible strategy because as you just saw, we just take advantage of that. They have no low power bears left in round 2, and then we just force that margin of victory to be 3 more, right? 3 more than what we won with. Okay, so let's go on to round 2. All right, this time we go first, which is good. All right, I want to show you how to win going first and going second. Okay, if you're going first, you want high power bears and low power bears. You don't really want any mid power bears. So this is a good hand. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 11, 12, 13, 15, 16. So we're going to finish your drawing. Okay, so let's go ahead and play out our low power bears. Okay, we can play some high power bears. This is really just to judge how our opponent plays, right? I noticed that my opponent is playing a bunch of low power bears, which leads me to believe that we can probably win in round 1, right? Our point total in our hand, if we go the distance, is probably greater than his point total because we don't have any mid power bears. Okay. He only really has 3 options: to pass, to play his first card, or to play his second card. He's taking a while. Okay, so he played his 16. Okay, so we are just going to play our 16. Okay, so we won by a margin of victory of 7. So what that means is in round 2, right, he has to maintain a margin of victory of 4 or fewer, otherwise he loses. So let's see. Okay, so I'm going to mulligan away my 14 power bear. And we have 6, 9, 7. Okay, it's too bad that we drew the 10. We wanted to draw the 7. Okay, let's go ahead and play our 8 power bear first. Okay, let's play our 6 power bear. Notice how the margin of victory is now 5, right? So when we pass here, we win. He had to keep a margin of victory 4 or fewer. If he won with a margin of victory of 4, then it would have been a draw. But because he exceeded 4, then we win. All right. Good game. All right. Let's go one more game, and then we'll call it good. The key to winning this game is to win round one. People don't really realize how important winning round one is. They're so focused on getting rid of their low power bears and keeping the margin of victory as small as possible that they don't really see the bigger picture. All right, we go first. So to reiterate, you want a higher point total, right? You want a higher point total in round one than your opponents. So by higher point total, I mean like the sum of the values of the starting 10 cards in your hand. Because if it goes a distance, if push comes to shove, you won't have more points on the board than your opponent in round one. Okay, let's see. Let's mulligan away this 7 provision bear, or this 7 power bear, this 8 power bear, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is pretty good. I like this hand. Okay, let's finish redraw. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our 5 power bear. Okay. All right, and now I believe I have more point totals in my hand than he does. All right, he still hasn't played his 1 and his 6, which if he has a 1 and a 6, especially if he has a 1, that would be really good for him. I think I'm just going to pass right here. Okay, so he also passed. So that means whoever wins the next round wins. So we just want our high power bears in hand, which is why I told you that we need to save our high power bears and like have them in hand in round one, right? So we don't need to rely on drawing into them for round 2. Okay, so we just mulligan away our lowest power bears. And yeah, so these are the highest power bears in deck, so we just keep it, right? And then we just win. Yeah. Mathematically, it was impossible for us to lose that round 2. We drew into the highest power bears because we had most of them for round 1, right? Okay, so that is the strategy. Going first, you want your low and high power bears. You don't really want any of the bears in the middle. And if you go second, right, don't start by playing your low power bears like everyone else. Rather, you want to save them for round 2, right? You want to win round 1 with a margin of victory around like 10-ish. So that way you can just bait out their high provision cards in round 2, right? So that their margin of victory exceeds what you won by plus 4 more. Okay, actually, let's do one more game. That way, I can show you again how you win by going second, right? I feel like the explanation maybe isn't clear enough. So you want to win by a margin of victory of like 8, 9, 10-ish, maybe a little bit more, it's fine. But you want to save your lowest power bears to play in round 2. So that way they've used up all of their low power bears, so then they're forced to bump up their own margin of victory super high. Okay, hopefully we go second. If we go first, well, it doesn't really matter. But really, I'm hoping to show you how to win by going second. Okay, good. We're going second. So essentially, we're setting a trap for our opponent, right? We don't want any super low power bears. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of our 16, our 14. Okay, this is a good hand. We would have to rely on drawing into our 1, 2, and 5 power bears, but like we should be able to draw into them, right? We have a 5 and 6 chance of drawing into the 1 and 2 power bears. Okay, so I notice my opponent is playing most of his low power bears. He probably doesn't have the 1 power bear in hand, which is unfortunate because that means he could have it for round 2. Oh, he played a 16 power bear? Interesting. I did not expect him to do that. Okay, well, we just continue with our play, right? Did not expect him to drop a 16 powered bear. We could drop our 4 power bear. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. Yeah, let's drop our 15 power bear. Okay, so we will pass. So he won with a margin of victory of 7, right? So what that means is we need to win with a margin of victory of 3 or fewer in round 2 to win the game. Okay, let's see. Additionally, we need to keep our hand point total greater than our opponent, right? So we probably don't want this 5 power bear, and I wonder if he's going to go for it in round 2, like just lay out his hand. We probably can get rid of this 1 power bear. Okay, let's see what he does. Oh, then he lost. Okay, because he needed to force our margin of victory to be 4 or more to at least tie. Because we won with 3 or fewer, then we just win. Okay, so that's too bad for him. And yeah, we should win by 2. right? We should win by 2 points if the math works out. Yeah, numbers don't lie. We win by 2. Okay. All right. So hopefully you've seen now how you win by going first and by going second. And I apologize if my explanation wasn't that clear. I did my best, and I will see you guys in the next video.